Sorry, guys. I had to change my battery. Sorry about that. Just had to make sure all the settings are well in place. Welcome, everybody. I'm giving the people some time to get in here since I started. Sorry about that, y'all. Let me make sure I share this with everybody. Welcome, everybody. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button, please, and thank you. Lord have mercy, the hair's a mess. So, I gotta tell you guys something. I woke up this morning and I saw this very interesting video. I did not know. Okay, put a 1 in the chat if you're from the DARE era. All right, if you ever took a DARE class when you were in elementary school, maybe middle school, I don't know if they had them in high school. Put a 1 in the chat if you ever took a DARE course as a child. And what, y'all did? Okay, good. Okay, I'm not alone. Did you guys know that the DARE program was like an MLM? I had no idea. I got a detour for a minute, okay? Because these police officers are coming forward and they're literally calling the DARE program a pyramid scheme. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Y'all, this took me out this morning. As I'm setting everything up. Give me 1 second, guys.
It was a police officer pyramid scheme the whole time.
Off-duty police officers could get a side gig as a DARE officer, and then they could recruit other police officers in their area. The more people you recruited, the more kickbacks you got. And that's why it spread so fast, because it was kind of an MLM. And the way they got that model, one of the board members, the founder of Herbalife.
DARE was a police officer pyramid scheme the whole time.
Off-duty police officers could get a side gig as a DARE officer, and then they could recruit other police officers in their area. The more people you recruited, the more kickbacks you got. And that's why it spread so fast, because it was kind of an MLM. And the way they got that model, one of the board members, the founder of Herbalife.
DARE.
The founder of Herbalife was the one that shared the DARE model. Let me tell you why this breaks my heart a bit, okay? Let me tell you why it breaks my heart a bit. I'm just saying. First of all, it is probably the only acronyms that I remember. Drug abuse resistant education. I'm sorry. It's the only acronyms that I remember. Now, I was in Cali. I think there was in the 5th grade that I took it, and then in the 6th grade. And these were officers that would come into our school, And already in my community growing up, we had a lot. We don't like police growing up. We didn't. So yeah, I'm a little shocked by this. So then I stumbled upon another YouTube video from this channel that's well over 500,000 subscribers. And his video got well over 1 million views, where he talked about the board members of DARE and how some of them were even Epstein Island people. I said, get out of here. I cannot. I can't do this. This is too much. I can't do that. I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't ready for that at all. Anyways, now, if I find out that McGruff is in on the scam, or Smokey the Bear, these are characters. I mean, they used to hand out comic books on this shit when I was in middle school and elementary school. I cannot. You still have your DARE shirt? I had a DARE shirt. I had they give you a certificate. It was really, really cool. I'm just saying, but clearly we were, I don't know, man. I'm still a little shocked. I tell you, I woke up this morning and I said, this can't be real. This cannot be real. And not only that, I shouldn't be watching any Instagram in the morning, because clearly it sets me off to a whole different area. We were duped. They found, but now I went and it literally took me to another rabbit hole. I was like, well, let me go see, because they said that their DARE program, after they did some research, they went and they saw that it never actually worked to keep kids off of drugs. However, they measured that, right? So now if you go to the website, they use these words, and I know these words very well, having been, having my graduate degree and everything and working in government. Evidence base is a keyword for something that models that they create to basically give credence to how they're going about treatment models and stuff like that. So please note that when you hear that, that is a buzzword. Now, you definitely want to do evidence-based models, especially something that's been out there, not based off of some theory. Like, you have to be very careful, especially when you're treating people. But anyways, keywords, things to pay attention to. You said McGruff was kind of cute. Yeah, I was like, McGruff the crime dog? Come on now. Drugs are really expensive, right? Sarah switched the acronym. Shout out to Sarah. But I did receive my education through the drug abuse resistance education. My children will never understand that unless they're back in the schools. I don't know, but I guess we'll see what happens. I've heard this too. I could see it where it's a bit cultish if people aren't careful. Smokey, yes. Smokey the Bear. Now, I will say I definitely believe I can stand behind Smokey the Bear's message. Only you can stop forest fires, right? Because that stuff is scary when it spreads, okay? I'm just saying. Anyways, so that's what happens in the morning when you're not medicated and you have ADHD and you're like, what am I looking at? What happened here? Let me stop. All right, guys. So we're going to go ahead and start with David because it's a lot of, I did a live stream yesterday and then I saw that email that leaked on Reddit. And then I started messaging some of my people and I said, hey, did you know about this email? Like, I heard about this email through Steve. And Steve, I did contact him and he did confirm with me that somebody had leaked it on Reddit. Who leaked it on Reddit? I don't know. I'm assuming it's probably the sender of that message. But to know exactly who leaked it, I don't know. We can't even tell if Josh actually received the message. We can't tell. We don't know if he actually received that message. Okay. Now, some of you guys are like, what are you talking about? Let me take you back. I want to go to Pop Crime TV with Lauren Conlon. Okay. Shout out to her. She did this interview, and this was around the time that we were talking about this email. This was back in September 26th. And I went to the exact timestamp to talk about it. Hold up. I clicked off of it. I'm sorry, guys. I had the, where did it go? I need the transcript. Where'd the transcript go? Okay. I'm going to have to pull it again. Here we go. Oh, it's because I pulled these things right here. Okay. So I typed in email. And this is what Lauren talks about, emailing the medical examiner's office. I'm like, let's see. And then Steve starts talking about this email. Okay, let's keep going. I'm looking for the timestamp, y'all. Forgive me. Okay, I'm going to go up maybe to 1859, okay?
Isn't that a little just contradicting? If they're a couple, how do you know they're a couple if they're just standing side by side? I don't quite understand how you come to that conclusion if they've never kissed, they've never, just because they're a boy and a girl. I don't know.
Well, so let's say they were just friends. I mean, the fact is, I think it's going to be very hard for him to say that he did not know that she was a missing person. From what I understand, from what I've heard, is that the first time she was found, she was found there, and then the second time she came home on her own. I know somebody that wrote an email to Josh and people very close to Josh saying she's there, she's a missing person, and literally the next day she showed up.
She's there, she's a missing person, and literally the next day she showed up. Okay. So then shout out to True Crime with what is it? I always get the name mixed up, but it's Strategic Eyes True Crime. Shout out to him, because I was listening a little bit to what he had to say about this email. Because, I like to kind of, some of the creators that, I like that are giving commentary about the situation, I want to understand their thought process, especially if you have somebody in law enforcement and, or at least working close to you or have some understanding of a situation. And like I said yesterday, I can't authenticate the email. That's what he said as well. We can't. We have no way of authenticating it. I can talk about the email, but I can't verify the email. I don't know. I think that Strategic Eyes True Crime also probably heard the same thing. It's very likely that the sender might have leaked it on Reddit. I'm not really sure. But I'm kind of like, if the sender, who I believe, in my opinion, is watching a lot of the commentary that people are giving, I have a feeling that you truly care, that whoever, if this, because I heard that this email is real. Again, it doesn't mean that Josh received it. And I can't authenticate it where he opened the email, whether he received it, because it's a business kind of email, right? Please note that. Clearly, you cared enough about Celeste, or at least were close enough to the family to have had the opportunity and chance to have emailed Josh Marshall, right? Clearly, that tells me that you cared, right? But right now, as it stands, all of that is hearsay because it's just a leaked email on Reddit. That's all it is. None of this, it's all, that's all it is. That's all we can say and do about that. Sometime in February of 2024, again, the person that sent the email was in communication with the family, or at least knew the family, so much so to say that the family is worried about Celeste, and I'm attaching a missing person picture and a bunch of posters, okay? That's what I'm going to say about that. Because I know some people and stuff like that, and I talk to people, I've had multiple people say that this is a legit thing, but I can't confirm it, guys. I can't say for sure. It's an email, y'all. And I'm going to see if I can find the exact post. And again, shout out to the Redditors. This is what the email looks like. All right. And it's not going to let me zoom in, but it's to D4VD at Mogul Vision. When you Google that, the first thing that comes in the search is Josh Marshall, at least what looks to be Josh Marshall's Instagram account. Okay. This was sent in February 19th. Now, one thing I started thinking about, February 19th, 2024 at about 4:13 a.m. Okay. I started thinking about that call log that was released on Reddit too, where the dispatch report, where people were calling, to and from. So I have not been able to figure out if anybody actually called, police around that time when this email was sent. But that would probably be my next step. I'm going to see if I can go to Reddit and we can kind of figure this out together. The narrative reads, there's been talk that the artist D4VD possibly has something to do with the disappearance of 13-year-old Celeste Rivas. In 2024, she was 13. If that statement holds any merit, please do the right thing and take her home. Her parents are very worried. Again, it's basically imploring, asking, like, if you know anything about this, to whoever the receiver is going to be, please do the right thing, whatever it may be, take her home. Okay? Her parents are very worried. And then Steve Fisher then says that after receiving this email, Celeste goes home the following day. So the way I see it is that my hope is that if the person signed this, and this was Sarah Adams said this was 4 days after the lease was signed. If the sender, which seems to be the case to me, cared enough to have at least said, I'm going to, help the parents reach out to somebody that I know would be close to the situation. I'm going to help. I'm thinking that the sender meant well by this. but I can't speak for the sender because I don't know the sender. I can't authenticate for the sender. None of us can, honestly. This is just an email, okay? This is what Steve had to say on Twitter. Shout out to Steve again. Early in the case, I released information about an email that had been sent to D4VD manager Josh Marshall and another person, notifying them that Celeste Rivas Hernandez was a missing person. Now, notice how Steve says Josh Marshall and another person. Who is the other person? I don't know. We don't know. Right? We don't. Notifying them that Celeste Rivas Hernandez was a missing person. Josh publicly denied this in TikTok comments, claiming it wasn't true. And that's, to me, in my opinion, just off. Like, you're denying this in TikTok comments. I saw Lauren Conlin, Kadisha Lynn, all these people talk about it. But I'm just like, this would be a good opportunity to do a press release. It's come to our attention that there's an active investigation on, one of our, not even an active investigation. It's come to our attention that there was a woman that was found or a child that was found in the trunk of a Tesla and, parked near the property where D4VD was at, a property that, Interscope was leasing. At this point, we're cooperating with whatever investigation, and that's all we know at this point. We were not aware, or we were aware of something to that effect. But he literally went on his TikTok comments to say that it wasn't true. He didn't know anything about it. And maybe he didn't. I don't know. However, an alleged copy of that email was leaked tonight on Reddit. He says the screenshot circulating online is said to be that Josh himself took, sent to D4VD, who then forwarded to one of Celeste's friends. And there will be more that proves this was a known relationship between adult and child. I can't speak. This is, SF Investigates. He's in the middle of a lot of information that he probably doesn't release right now because he can't. So he's speaking in a way that he stands on what he's saying, right? And I think that's important. However, for me, as somebody that's receiving third or fourth party information from close sources, I can't do the same as SF Investigates. What this tells me, at the very least, or at least my opinion is that it sounds like there might be certain moving parts, and a lot of people might be closer to this situation or had some knowledge of it, right? Like I said, the only person that can authenticate this email is the person that leaked it or the person that wrote the email. Hopefully it's the same person. I don't know. You just got kicked off. I don't know what's going on. I think that there's some glitches going on with YouTube. Hopefully not. Hopefully we'll fix them. Yeah. Nuria, that's what it's looking like at this point, and that's what they're treating it. But it's just so scary to me at this point that they're saying, to me, I don't know, man. Maybe they were told not to. What if they were told not to by the police? That's true. And I'm assuming that they could just do that. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud, guys. I really don't know. What I do know is somebody released this on Reddit close to the situation, right? That's what it looks like to me. I'm going to see if I can go to the call log real quick and hold up. Let me go back here. So this is where Steve is talking about it. And we actually played this part before. Hold up.
Kissing, showing any type of PDA, whatever. I guess I'm just confused. Isn't that a little just contradicting? If they're a couple, how do you know they're a couple if they're just standing side by side? I don't quite understand how you come to that conclusion if they've never kissed, they've never, just because they're a boy and a girl. I don't know.
Well, so let's say they were just friends. I mean, the fact is, I think it's going to be very hard for him to say that he did not know that she was a missing person. From what I understand,
hold up.
From what I've heard is that.
So I went to the log, and that date of the email was, what did we say it was? February 19th. And shout out to Obsidian and True Crime with Strategic Eyes. Okay. They're the ones with the receipt here. So February, there was a call. It says FU, February 16th, and then no call on February 18th, then call February 17th. Okay. FU stands for follow-up. Okay. And please note that there was a lot of calls. Remember, there was a lot of calls made in February. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There were 6 calls made in February. I feel like we've done the math here before. So February 15th, 2 calls. This was as MCIC. This, I feel like, what is it? Is it NCMEC? No, not NCMEC. It's miscellaneous non-criminal. That's what it is. I don't know why I thought it was NCMEC. This was February 15th, and then follow up. But there was no calls on the 18th. The next call after the 17th of February is February the 20th, and it's miscellaneous non-criminal. Okay, and then the in between is just follow-ups. That's all it is. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. But that is where it stands. Currently, we don't know.
The first time she was found, she was found there, and then the second time she came home on her own. I know somebody that wrote an email to Josh and people very close to Josh saying she's there, she's a missing person, you know, and literally the next day she showed up. She came back by herself. So he can't say he didn't know. Now, even let's say there was nothing sexual going on or whatever, she's still a 12 or 13-year-old, and you can't keep her from her family. You can't harbor her. So it's still a crime. Now, do I think there was something more going on? Because I have a little common sense. Yeah, I think probably. Can I prove that? Absolutely not. But yeah. I think what can be proven is that there's probably a report out there that from when she was picked up, I don't know if it was Lake Elsinore or if it was LAPD that actually picked her up in the Hollywood Hills, but she was picked up there, and there will be a report on that. Now, she's a minor, so that will be sealed from us, but law enforcement has access to it, and so does prosecutors, and it's gonna be really hard for them to get away from the harboring, knowing she was missing. And that, you know, it's a serious
I'm pulling up another email that I got last night from Flojo.
crime. They're keeping her out of school, all types of things. And the you know, it's not just David. Josh is going to have a huge problem here, as is Interscope, I think.
I mean, I had said just before you got on, I guess I know that he's making more money than ever with his streams right now. Very successful. We all are very morbidly curious, I guess. Could this be the one reason that they're not dropping him from Interscope? Because that's me. And that, I mean, I'd be like, sorry, we don't know him.
I've already played that video of I keep calling her Asia something. I keep messing up her name, but I have played that video already, Flojo, just so you're aware. I've already seen this video. Hold up, y'all. Give me 1 second. And this is the tweet that we read. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that we might be missing here. You know, maybe we'll get information this week. Maybe we won't. I don't know, man. I'm not at this point. We're hearing different things. We're hearing that we might not even come out with charges at this point. We're hearing that it's just so many things to I don't know, man. I don't know. It just, I don't think it's ever going to really even, in my mind, satisfy or even think about the fact that there was a child that was found in the trunk of a Tesla. That stuff is just crazy to me. Is it Asia? That's how I feel. I don't know. You said this goes way further than people can comprehend, in my opinion. Maybe, man. I don't know. Harboring a missing child, that's a weak charge, in my opinion. I don't know what it is. I know it's a charge, though, for sure. Let's see. Thank you. Chantel, thank you so much. 172. Better hit the like button. Better late than never. Yes. Thank you so much, Chantel. Thank you. I appreciate you. You said, I would think the reason they haven't dropped him yet is due to the contractual obligations. See, that's another point, too. Very, very true. Maybe there's a contractual obligation there now. I wonder, right? He's been making tons of money. Yeah. And has yet to even be named as a suspect. Maybe they're kind of waiting for that situation. Like if you name him as a suspect, then it's a little bit different, right? Thank you. But we have not seen that unless the police have proven. We don't know. We don't know what the police has, to be quite honest. We don't. Like I said, a lot of this is what we can or can't speculate because we don't know. I can't confirm the email. Like I said, it's very compelling. Does it make me question a lot of things? Absolutely. But I don't know. I can't confirm it. I can't say that it's real. I don't know if David actually saw the email. We don't know nothing, y'all. We don't know anything. And I think it's important to note that, right? And we're left waiting for, I guess, an update. It's all just very, very sad. Now people are posting the map for Knoxbury Farm. I don't know, man. Y'all, I don't know. Okay, this is the other stuff that I wanted to show you guys. I thought I saved a link, but I didn't. These screenshots were sent anonymously to Mod Mail. Okay, somebody in the chat explain to me what the Mod Mail on Reddit, or Mod Mail is the mods, or is that like an actual mail? I don't know what it is. Let me know. Now hold up, guys. Give me 1 minute. Okay. It's the mail, I think. What's Mod Mail? You said us not knowing is definitely in his favor. I don't know, man. I think about this, and I don't know if this is necessarily going to be a career ender for D4VD, believe it or not. I hate to put it that way, but I mean, I wouldn't look at the guy the same way anymore. Harboring a minor is a misdemeanor, says Matt. In California, Matt, that's really sad. We just need one person in David's crew to talk, just one, and the strings will unravel. I just don't know if that's even going to happen. Honestly. Yeah, no, I don't know. On some other channel, the tech guy said that the email is real. Yeah, I hope that they have, Olga, that they have the way to authenticate it, because I'm not saying, I don't know. I've heard that it's real, but I don't know. I can't say for sure that it's real. That's what I'm saying. I can't stand on it. Moderator mail. Okay, so let's get into this receipt. All right. These screenshots were sent anonymously to Mod Mail, unconfirmed. This is speculation only, and nothing alleged in these photos are confirmed to be facts. Now, the problem that I have with this is that anybody can do AI at this point. Even if you think about it, even the Discord stuff, people can alter and make shit up and do different things. I just don't even know. I hope that that's not the case, but I just don't know what I feel about it, honestly. Speculation only, nothing is alleged. So these are Asia, or I always say, I think the Y is throwing me off. But this is the other woman who is said to have been at least aware that David had a girlfriend named Celeste. I don't know if she knew that, she was a minor, but this is what's being alleged. These messages also kind of had me scratching my head. So somebody messaged her, and they replied to your story. I guess you replied to somebody's story. Bro, this is my friend's GF. Is there a way you can confirm she's 13? What the F? You're lying, she says. And then in the comments, very nice to see. So they send her the story there. Very nice to see you, my queen. Yeah, there's the story, I guess, the origin of the story, okay? Because you could see Celeste a little bit in that screenshot. And then the account is like blank, gone, I guess. The person who sent this stuff. Which I always, listen, I have a lot of accounts on the Instagrams that typically try to get information from me or try to follow me for information. And, you know, if the account is historic, right? Like it's been around a couple years, you could tell when there's an account that's just following you for information or to leak information or stuff like that. And believe it or not, some of these accounts, you know, a lot of celebrities, and I'm sure a lot of you guys know this, don't use their Instagram accounts for this. You know, they'll use like dummy Instagram accounts and stuff like that. So I don't know. Again, a lot of speculation. We don't know if any of this is accurate or anything. People do stuff like this all the time, but apparently somebody was sending information. And let me see, is this another posting? Since people are being super disrespectful, I will clarify some things. Hold up. I will clarify some things. I did not know the girl nor her age. May she rest in peace. I have never posted any videos with Celeste Rivas, only my friend Vanessa and Celeste Herrera, who are commonly being mistaken as Celeste Rivas. Everyone wants to act like TikTok detectives, yet can't tell the difference between POC. Let's pack it up, y'all. This is what she said, I guess, on her account. So, and I'm sure that this group is probably like, I'm so tired of people mistaking me for this account or for this person or doing the most and stuff like that, which fair to say, man. I mean, I'm sure that this young group is very like, we're over this. But the sad part is what does justice look like for Celeste? This just doesn't sit well with me. It's not going to sit well with me to know that a child was sitting in a trunk, or at least put in a trunk, and she died there. Or did she die there? Did she die somewhere else? I don't know. And it's the fact that none of us can really make sense of the situation. It don't sit well at all. At all, at all, at all. Hold up. What? No way. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Give me a second. Now? It's in now? Let me see. How do you know? I haven't seen anything. All right, let me go to the coroner's office. Where do you see it, Sarah? You're going to have to tell me where you saw that. What? Oh. All right. Okay. That was apparently wrong. Maybe before putting it in the chat, you might want to check it out. Sorry, y'all. I'm just like, no way. Oh my God. You've been checking. Thank you. Okay. Well, yeah, not cool. If the career blows up after this, the people that make it happen are trash. His career? No, it's not, y'all. False alarm. Somebody put it in the chat. You know, so we gotta be careful. We won't be able to miss it when they release it. Yeah, it's not up. Thank you, guys. Thank you, y'all. I got excited too. I was like, what? It feels like they've been setting this up from the beginning. Only SF has been talking. It's a little bit crazy. I guess we'll see. There's nothing. There isn't, Ari. Okay. That's right. We did talk about that was a charge for the hiding the corpse. Now, if they dismember the body, then that's a felony. That's what I'm saying. Is like, yeah. All of these charges are just going to vary and whatnot as far as what happens. Yeah, I don't know, man. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. That's how I feel. No worries, Sarah. You just got to be careful before we put it in the chat. You can always email me and let me know that way. No worries. You said, unfortunately, this is not going to... I don't think it is, honestly. I don't think it is. I guess we'll see what happens. I don't think it's going to be like a career ender. Hell, at this point, I mean, it would be nice to know what caused her death, or at least like, can anybody who put her body in the trunk? Why not take her to a hospital? Why not? Like, that's what you would think. Somebody's overdosing, unless it was an adult and they got scared and they were like, I'm gonna put her in the trunk. What did they think was gonna happen? How did they think that there was gonna? I don't know, man. I don't like it. I don't like how that sits at all. Sorry, y'all. I had a moment. I got excited for a minute because I thought we were going to go somewhere, but I had a moment there. His career is never going to be the same. Well, anime, I've always felt like people there's been a lot of people, and to each his own, right? Some people are going to support because they're going to support. Some people will not. And what seemed to be taboo years ago, it's changing now. I think that's kind of where we're at. So I don't know, man. I don't know if it'll ever... If him just going away and not having a career is going to be the thing. He might. I don't know. And if he's not charged with anything, and maybe he wasn't the one who put her in the trunk, but then there are this other side to this situation where it's like, well, then who had access to it and was he harboring a minor? But you also need the parents to advocate for this situation. And I'm not seeing that from the parents' side either. So I don't know what to make of this. He said it always goes back to the information contained in the Tesla when it was armed and disarmed. Yeah. Anyways, okay, guys, we do have to move on. I want to talk about Ashlee Buzzard. There's been different informations and pieces of information that have been developing as it pertains to the Ashlee Buzzard case, guys. If you guys have been following, put a 1 in the chat. Ashlee Buzzard, her mom was like arrested, what was it, a couple days ago on unrelated charges, but she was the 9-year-old child who I guess she's been missing. Initially, she said she's been missing for a year. Then we found out that that's not the case, that it might have been a lot closer to that. Mom drives her across state lines to multiple states. She has her daughter wearing a wig. Mom's wearing a wig. And it just looks like it's a very off situation. They get a search warrant. They start looking into the house. Mom is not cooperating with law enforcement. Believe it or not, there's some crazy ass people out here that believe... Listen, maybe you all believe it too. I don't know. Let me be nice. Do you all believe that Ashlee Buzzard has a right to hide her child from law enforcement? Do you guys believe that Ashlee Buzzard has the right to hide her child from law enforcement or any officials that can report on the wellness of her? Does she? I don't know. Because it did kind of prompt some thought behind that. If you wanted to be gone, put yourself in that situation. If you wanted to be gone and you're like, well, these are my kids, I'm going to take them with me. Do you have the right to keep them away from any kind of law enforcement or to be seen or having anybody check wellness on these children? there are some people that believe that Ashlee Buzzard is being wrongfully set up, that she has no authority to produce her, like there's no reason for her to. And I did see that Banfield, let me see. Banfield did interview, I think it was like a lawyer, that she has no right to cooperate, or at least doesn't need to cooperate with authorities. Let's see, hold up. Let me see, y'all. If I can pull it. I might have to find this video. She was interviewing this lawyer, and it was like a very interesting interview. Very interesting interview. I'm gonna have to find it, but this is the latest that we have on the search for Melanie. Okay, Melodee, not Melanie. Melodee, because there's a D there. Hold up. Can I play it? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? How come I don't see it, y'all? Hold up. Maybe my screen is tripping. Here it is. Okay.
That criminal complaint, we just got it a short time ago from Superior Court, Santa Barbara County. It's really just less than half a page long, but
so mom, for those that don't know, mom was arrested on unrelated charges and something to do with her holding another person against their will or something like that. I forget the exact charge, but I did have to kind of wonder, well, unrelated, like, first of all, who are you holding like this?
We want to highlight some parts of it because it is quite revealing about what allegedly happened at this house on or around November 6th, it says, of 2025 in the county of Santa Barbara. The crime of false imprisonment by violence, a felony, was committed by Ashlee Buzzard.
False imprisonment. There you go. That's what it is. She was holding somebody. False imprisonment by violence. Okay.
Who did unlawfully violate the personal liberty of Tyler S. Brewer. Said violation being affected by violence, menace, fraud, and deceit. And you see that headline, special allegation, aggravating factors. It goes on to read, the manner in which the crime was carried out indicates planning, sophistication, and professionalism. We have learned that Ashlee will be in court on Wednesday afternoon to
This is insane. So that's why she's behind bars. Luigi, thank you so much. Oh my God, Luigi, thank you for your support. I also have to shout out some people here in the chat with support. Luigi, I really appreciate it. Thank you for supporting the channel. It means a lot. It means the world. Thank you. And shout out to my beautiful, wonderful mods as well. Infamous, thank you for becoming a member and gifting a membership. Nicole, thank you, Nicole, for becoming a member. Chantel, I already said thank you, but thank you again, love. Connie, which is Karen, thank you for Connie was a member for 4 months. So shout out to Connie in heaven, of course. And thank you, Karen, for being in the chat for your sister. Thank you. Greek lady, a member for 12 months, a whole freaking year, my love. Thank you for putting up with me that long. Literally. And everybody else, man. I got some veterans here in the chat. Thank you. Shout out to you guys. You said she didn't like what he had to say. So she pulled out a box cutter and told him he couldn't leave. So if I don't like what you got to say, I can pull a box cutter and now you can't leave. It sounds like it's been a good several weeks, Patrick, based on the information that's been provided. Initially, they thought that it was longer than that. The last photo of Melodee Buzzard was when she was 9 years old. And she's got those like life touch pictures, you know, cute child and everything. But they spotted her, the child with the wig and the mom with the wig, switching the plates of the car. And she came back and there's no child in sight. And the thing about her is that apparently she has historic or at least documented mental health situationships that are happening with her. And it sounds like it's untreated at this point. She's not cooperating with law enforcement. So like I said, there are some people that are supporting her non-cooperation. But at this point, Melodee is considered high risk, a high risk child. because nobody's been able to put their eyes on her, right? And she hasn't gone to school and nothing. We don't know anything.
Face this felony charge. In the meantime, she remains jailed up in the Santa Maria area. And Ashlee, as you know, we have tracked down Tyler S. Brewer, and we have spoken with him. And bear with me as I'm going to refer to my notes because I want to relay what he told us accurately. Tyler Brewer tells us that he has known Ashlee through a friend since 2014. He's been coming over here to check on her since all of this was publicized. He claims he was told where Melodee was dropped off and who she was left with, but he is not sharing that information with us.
Oh,
Tyler's also concerned that because of Ashlee's mental history and
what do you mean she was dropped off? Oh, yeah. Okay, I've said this in other lives. I got in trouble the first time I said it. Somebody yelled at me. Okay. And if you watching, because like they got all kinds of disrespectful with me when I said this. I said, well, what if she trafficked her child? I told you guys that, and I said, and I put on my thumbnail, this is clickbait. How dare you say that she trafficked her child? Because I've seen it done before. Some of these stories don't even make the news. I could be wrong still. Who did she leave her child with? People don't want to see people or think that people do this. This shit happens a lot. A lot. Hell, look at the cult of Scientology. They be trafficking people all the time too, and people don't pay attention. Oh, it's a travel visa. It's a this and a that, and then they got the paperwork. What do you mean? They take your documents and they hold your travel documents against you. That's not okay.
The behavior, he's not sure that what she told him is actually true. Now, on November 6th, the day of the incident, he says Ashlee started acting irrationally while he was here, accused him of working with police and the paternal side of the family to take Melodee away from her. He says she kept shutting her eyes and making fists, and she blocked the door, preventing him from leaving. She slammed the front door shut and engaged 4 locks on that door.
Oh, come on, Vicky. 2 different cases, though. I could believe that the parents, maybe, I don't know the parents, maybe the parents trafficked Celeste too, for all we know. But 2 different cases. I'm making the comparison here because earlier on, when I talked about this, people ate me up in the comments about saying that. And I said, y'all, wait till this case develops. We don't know. I don't know. We don't know. Right? We don't.
She did eventually let him leave, and he went right to authorities to report what happened. Now, he claims she has just mental issues. She's extremely paranoid. She's a totally different person from when they first met, and he says he's very concerned about Melodee's well-being, and he suspects Melodee may be somewhere in Utah. So based on everything that he told News Nation, there is hope that Melodee is out there and alive. So what Tyler Brewer is telling News Nation, providing a lot of hope tonight, Ashlee.
So how does he know? He told, I'm going back because I'm a little confused. How do you confirm this information?
Well, let's go over a little bit of that. That's just incredible information that he has unloaded. So Nancy, if I'm to understand this, he says that Ashlee shared the information of where she, quote unquote, dropped off Melodee. He thinks it's in the Utah area. He will not share exactly with us what she apparently shared with him. But did he say he shared everything with the police, everything that Ashlee told him?
Yeah, based on what we're hearing, we haven't heard everything. And again, because of her mental state and how she's been acting lately, he's not sure that what she's been saying is the truth. So it's hard to know what to believe, but, you know, he is telling us what she told him. And if it is truthful, then Melodee is out there.
Is it against the law to lie to the police? I mean, you can't get in trouble to lie to the police. What if, can we believe everything that this person is saying?
And did we get any further understanding of what drop off means? I mean, you don't just drop a child, you know, on a desert road. Was there some, I mean, do we know if there was some drop off location, some person, someone to care for her? Anything more that indicates what kind of a drop off this was?
We've been fishing for information. We want more information, and he's not quite ready to tell more information. His name just got released publicly within the last couple of hours, so he's just coming to terms with that. He's not sure, you know, he wants to do interviews or speak out publicly in any way.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download.
Okay, be quiet, Cuomo. He doesn't want to watch him be on a YouTube channel next. I've heard this before. I've heard them say, we don't want to do interviews, and then bam, they're on a YouTube channel. Lord have mercy, because it's how it happens.
Lipped mother of a missing 9-year-old girl, a mother now locked up on this totally bizarre false imprisonment charge. She too was a 9-year-old girl on the margins, surrounded by danger, with an unstable home life and sometimes no home at all. But despite those unhappy parallels with her own daughter, Melodee, there is one monumental difference. Ashlee's mother, from all indications, did everything she could to protect her child, to keep young Ashlee safe and loved, fed and clothed and educated.
Okay.
Exhibit A would be a newspaper story that our team on News Nation uncovered today from 1995.
Okay, so something happened, and then I know her dad died, I think in 2016, right? The biological father. That's why he's not necessarily in the picture or and stuff like that. She might have had like a mental break at some point.
It was February 11th, to be exact, in the Santa Maria Times. The headline reads, "School of Hard Knocks. Educators extend a hand to the homeless." And there it is, as big as day. The curly-haired 9-year-old Ashlee Buzzard sitting beside her tutor. Yeah, I see it too. A total resemblance between Ashlee at 9 years old
Melodee.
and her now daughter Melodee at 9 years old.
So I wonder, okay, here's my other thought on this too. What if religion played a part in this, y'all? I'm telling you, this is taking me back to the Daybell Vallow situation. What if religion is playing a part in this? Huh? You know, I had to hide my child, you know, because the apocalypse is coming, that this is coming. I mean, all that plays into it as well.
The story's all about Ashlee's escape with her mother, Lori, from Ashlee's abusive father. And before I go on, you should know that we've spoken with Ashlee's mother, identified in the news story as Lori Miranda, and verified all the details. Here's what the newspaper article said. Quote, "With no job, home, or car, and $40 in her pocket, Lori Miranda and her young daughter faced the streets of Santa Maria. Originally living in Orange County, Lori Miranda, 33, said she and Ashlee, 9 years old, had moved from place to place, often sleeping in hotels, to be free of Lori Miranda's husband."
This is very common, right? Having to move around a lot. Hell on earth, it's far more common than people think, unfortunately. Yes, it's very common. People don't talk about it, but it's very true. I've seen it. Some of these cases don't make it in the news, guys. I'm telling you. I was trafficked by a parent, and it doesn't look like what people expected. It's so hard to believe. I believe you, Cal. I really believe you. And I can't even say more than that, other than I truly believe you, because people don't know what to look for. And this is what I'm saying. This could be in the Celeste Rivas case for all we know. I don't know. What it does look like is people aren't coming forward. So both things can be correct. To me, when I first read this, I said, oh my God, this is giving me very specific vibes, because I encountered something similar when I was working in government. So I understood this side, but people don't understand. Like, when people come at you that way, that just kind of tells me that they don't even know what trafficking looks like, that they have this preconceived notion of trafficking and what that seems. or what that looks like, because we've only seen maybe one side of it at a documentary, but there's just so many levels to it. But yes, Kel, I believe you. And I'm sorry you had to go through that. Luigi, thank you for gifting 10 memberships. Guys, if you have been gifted, put a heart in the chat. Please, please, and thank you. Hyper religiosity. Yes, Sarah. That's another part of it where, like, I've seen situations where people give up their kids to religion, right? Oh, they're Bible camps, but more, it's a different to do a camp, right? You're expecting the child to return. Some of these trips, you kind of have to wonder, all right, how is this not viewed as trafficking based on what's being described? We don't talk about the people that are sexually assaulted or violated, or, violated in any kind of way when they're taking these religious trips. And some of the people really do get in their mindset of that. Anyways, let me stop.
He would follow us everywhere, recalled Lori Miranda, stressing that her now ex-husband and Ashlee's father was not only physically, verbally, and emotionally abusive, but also that he abused substances. He would smash our windows. He would harass us. To escape, Lori Miranda and her daughter Ashlee boarded a bus in June, and after staying with a relative for a month, they came to Santa Maria. The two eventually found their way to the Good Samaritan shelter, where they remained for 30 days. Lori enrolled her daughter Ashlee into school.
So it's like giving history about, I guess, mom, right? Giving her a history, just kind of like letting us to see a little bit of an insight about her. If Ashlee is watching this, which I don't know, again, Ashlee was taken down pictures, missing persons, missing child pictures of her own child. So I don't know, man.
For 2 hours after school, Ashlee began and continues to participate in the Homeless Education Liaison Project. It's just remarkable if you think about it. Remember, Ashlee was just 9 years old back then, the same age that her missing daughter Melodee is today. And that brings me to the photos and the video that Ashlee's mother, Lori, gave News Nation exclusively of her daughter Ashlee and her granddaughter Melodee together in 2020, when Melodee was about 4 years old. You're about to see video that Grandma Lori shot of her daughter Ashlee carving a pumpkin with her granddaughter Melodee. You'll hear Grandma's voice behind the camera being playful with Melodee, while Ashlee appears more detached. And frankly, what will stand out probably the most is that Ashlee looks nothing like the woman we've been seeing in the surveillance tapes while renting a car and leaving with her daughter. Looks nothing like the woman that we've seen cuffed and led away from her own house. Here's the video from 5 years ago of Ashlee and her daughter Melodee, again shot by Grandma.
What are you? Pumpkin super duper?
Yeah.
Silly. Ew, gross. Let's see it.
Oh! That's just a gut, silly.
That's just the guts.
Wait,
Look at it. Look at it. Look.
that's mom? Hold up. I'm sorry. I got to rewind a little bit, and I know I sped it up. That's mom, guys. That's mom?
Pumpkin super duper?
Yeah.
Silly. Ew, gross. Let's see it.
Oh! That's just a gut, silly.
That's just the guts.
Look at it. Look at it.
Look at that. Oh my god.
Whoa. Hey, watch this, guys.
Here, let me see a picture of you. Look at me. Look at mommy. It's in there. You should have took all those to the park for the
No, Grandma's the one taking the video. Mom is the one carving the pumpkin with her, guys. And I think Ashlee Banfield is about to kind of put us side by side just so people are aware. I'm in shock,
Girls. Say cheese.
Cheese.
To mommy.
It is absolutely unfathomable that the woman on the left side of your screen carving the pumpkin with her daughter.
No, it's not. I don't think that it's any. I know we're speculating. Oh, could it be Ozempic? That's not even what I'm going to put out there. I think that anything can happen. Anything can, changes in the body, things can happen and stuff like that. I do wonder if this was just change in lifestyle or maybe medication, whatever it may be. But I mean, the woman in the wig with the wig does not look well, guys. She just doesn't look well. I don't know Ashlee personally, but here, I mean, clearly you see her very well engaged with their daughter. They're gutting a pumpkin, which is like everything that you do during, you know, Halloween and stuff like that. She's close. She's interacting with grandma, which is different now because she won't even let her sister, or she won't answer the door for anybody. So what happened between that time frame to now this?
Is the same woman on the right side of your screen walking through a rental office with her daughter.
5 years
look like
apart.
two completely different people. And I'll get to the changes in just a moment. But this was day one of
Yes, Cammie. Yeah, you're right. And I could tell you, like, I've been through that where, you know, depression, severe depression, various mental health, you know, mental illnesses can lead you to weight loss too. It's not always just. Sometimes I have ADHD. Sometimes I forget to eat, guys. I really do forget to eat. I have to be reminded sometimes. Thyroid problems can be an issue. Your thyroid can lead to mental health issues as well. I had half of my thyroid removed. Luckily, I'm not on medication, but some people need medication because of the hormones and stuff. Like, there's a lot of different things that can happen to your body. It's not always Ozempic, just so people are aware.
Of a 3-day road trip to and from Nebraska. Police say the last known sighting of little Melodee was October 9th near the Colorado-Utah border. Because Ashlee returned to her home in Lompoc, California the next day, but without Melodee. And earlier on my News Nation show Banfield, I learned some new and shocking details about the arrest of Ashlee Buzzard. The victim, who is named in this case, spoke with my News Nation show and described exactly why he was at Ashlee's house in the first place and what happened to him while he was there that resulted in Ashlee being arrested the next day. All of that in just a moment. But first, a quick thank you from both Little Atlas and from me for supporting this channel.
Okay, I'm going to try to scoot over again. Shout out to Banfield. She does her, she's got sponsorship. So I'm going to try to kind of get ahead of these. Okay, so we did watch this report, but I kind of want to see how she ties it into everything. We just watched this. So I'm still at loss a little bit with the information. So the guy that with the charges is the one that knows where this child's at, but he's not telling people where this child's at, even though there's clearly a safety risk situation happening. But we're not going to say where this child's at. I don't get it.
Hey, Nancy, so much to get to tonight. You got your hands on this criminal complaint just within the last hour or so. So what to you stood out that I haven't already said?
Oh, a lot stood out to us, Ashlee, and we want to show everyone that criminal complaint. We just got it a short time ago from Superior Court, Santa Barbara County. It's really just less than half a page long, but we want to highlight some parts of it because it is quite revealing about what allegedly happened at.
Okay, that's good. See, that makes me feel better, Ashlee. So he did tell the detective. I missed this part. He told the detectives, just not social media, which I'm good. I'm good. Depression is very real and it messes with your body. It does, y'all. And, you know, I know a lot of, shout out to my beautiful, wonderful women. I know I got some men here too. Shout out to y'all. But, you know, with women, we got all these kinds of hormones and you stop having children and, you know, you got to be careful. And then if you're on birth control, like these are things that you kind of have to keep in mind. That's why I'm like, I don't always chalk it up to Ozempic as being the reason why somebody loses weight. My weight always fluctuates. When I get very depressed, I tend to forget to eat, you know, and not eat. And I have to be reminded. And it's not that I don't have an appetite. I just don't. Like, I really legitimately forget to eat sometimes. I do.
This house on or around November 6th, it says, of 2025 in the county of Santa Barbara, the crime of false imprisonment by violence, a felony, was committed by Ashlee Buzzard, who did unlawfully violate the personal liberty of Tyler S. Brewer. Said violation being affected by violence, menace, fraud, and deceit. And you see that headline, special allegation, aggravating factors. It goes on to read the manner in which the crime was carried out, indicates planning, sophistication, and professionalism. We have learned that Ashlee will be in court on Wednesday afternoon to face this felony charge. In the meantime, she remains jailed.
Why Utah?
Up in the San.
Why Utah, guys? Why Utah? That's another question. I mean, yeah, I know that there's like a lot of religious stuff there. I lived in Utah for a couple of years, actually. That was crazy. Try living in Utah in your 20s. Like, that's just some crazy ass shit. There's a curfew to a certain degree. You can't buy alcohol after a certain time. And, you know, the religious stuff is a little too much for me. But why Utah? That's what I want to know. Yeah, but like, are we assuming that she's a Mormon too? Yes, and Helena, yeah, you're right. Melodee is very, very thin. I noticed that too. But I think for her, it could be growth. You know, she's a little taller. She was 9 in that picture. So I kind of trying to figure out, like, you know, what's normal and whatnot. Yeah. So is mom, do we know what her religious practices are? Have we determined that? Have we determined what, thank you, Lana Lee. Shout out to you. Shout out to everybody in the chat, guys. Do we know, is she LDS? FLDS? Yeah, it could be a growth spurt, you know? But we don't know what kind of religious practices mom has. That would be the other concern that I would have. Did she take this child to, say, a compound or some religious people or whatever? I haven't seen anything about religion either. This is why I wonder about Utah. Regarding the non-custodial parent may be the reason. Huh. That's interesting. I never thought about that.
Maria area. And Ashlee, as you know, we have tracked down Tyler S. Brewer, and we have spoken with him. And bear with me as I'm going to refer to my notes, because
what is Tyler's connection to mom other than this whole situation that went down with, you know, clearly her trying to hold him back? Are they romantically involved? What's their connection?
Because I want to relay what he told us accurately. Tyler Brewer tells us that he has known
and non-custodial parent. Dad died. I know. I think I said that in 2016 he died. So this shouldn't be the non-custodial thing is like out the window, I think. Isn't that where her husband's family is from? I thought her husband's family was from a different state. They were friends since 2014. That's it? They were friends? That's their connection with each other? Okay.
Ashlee through a friend since 2014.
He's
been coming over here to check on her since all of this was publicized. He claims he was told where Melodee was dropped off and who she was left with, but he is not sharing that information with us. Tyler's also concerned that because of Ashlee's mental history and recent behavior, he's not sure that what she told him is actually true.
Right.
Now, on November 6th, the day of the incident, he says Ashlee started acting irrationally while he was here, accused him of working with police and the paternal side of the family to take Melodee away from her.
Maybe that's why. I mean, you know, her dad, the child's father, biological father, passed away, right? But maybe the biological father family is like wanting to step up, and maybe, you know, I didn't even think of that, right? Because I'm thinking that he passed away and there was nothing else, but we don't know. There could be a grandma, there could be something to that effect.
He says she kept shutting her eyes and making fists, and she blocked the door, preventing him from leaving. She slammed the front door shut and engaged 4 locks on that door. She did eventually let him leave, and he went right to authorities to report what happened. Now, he claims she has just mental issues. She's extremely paranoid. She's a totally different person from when they first met, and he says he's very concerned about Melodee's well-being, and he suspects Melodee may be somewhere in Utah. So based on
Okay.
everything that he told News
I'm glad I rewatched this because I feel like I missed a lot all at once.
Nation, there is hope that Melodee is out there and alive. So what Tyler Brewer is telling News Nation, providing a lot of hope tonight, Ashlee.
Well, let's go over a little bit of that.
Well, I'm here. Like I said, I'm here for. If he's talking to law enforcement, he doesn't need to talk to anybody online. So, I mean, that's who matters, not the online sleuths, guys. Like I said, look, and I consider myself one, but the people that can actually make things and arrest people is law enforcement, right? So better that he talked to law enforcement. It's not like he's not cooperating, guys. So, I mean, and mom is clearly behind bars, but somebody's holding this child. Who is? And I wonder if they're watching all of this go down the way that it's going down.
That's just incredible information that he has unloaded. So Nancy, if I'm to understand this, he says that Ashlee shared the information of where she, quote unquote, dropped off Melodee. He thinks it's in the Utah area. He will not share exactly with us what she apparently shared with him. But did he say he shared everything?
Oh, this is interesting. Kraken says at the very beginning, the father's family said for the last 3 years, they've been trying to gain custody. When that didn't happen, they wanted visitation, triggering her to cut them off. I've seen that happen before, right? Like that does happen, honestly. And if the FBI is involved already, I mean, they got people that there's a lot of eyes in this case, guys.
With the police, everything that Ashlee told him.
Yeah, based on what we're hearing, we haven't heard everything. And again, because of her mental state and how she's been acting lately, he's not sure that what she's been saying is the truth. So it's hard to know what to believe, but, you know, he is telling us what she told him. And if it is truthful, then Melodee is out there.
And did we get any further understanding of what drop off means? I mean, you don't just drop a child, you know, on a desert road. Was there some, I mean, do we know if there was some drop off location, some person, someone to care for her? Anything?
Yeah, who did she drop this child off? That's what I'm saying. I'm like, maybe finding out what her religion is. And if possible, maybe a religious leader might be involved in this situation. I'm sorry, I hate to put it that way. You know, like I said, I understand. You know, this is a touchy subject. I don't like talking about religion. I've talked about it every once in a while, but I really try to stay and steer away from it. But this does happen.
Or that indicates what kind of a drop off this was?
We've been fishing for information. We want more information, and he's not quite ready to tell more information. His name just got released publicly within the last couple of hours, so he's just coming to terms with that. He's not sure, you know, he wants to do interviews or speak out publicly in any way, but fortunately, you know, he did speak with us, relayed that information, and we relayed as much as we could to all of you.
Okay, well, let's move on to the other action that happened in the house behind you. Action not only this weekend, but today. Walk me through what the neighbors all said happened there.
Oh, we missed this part.
Well, first off, I mean, Ashlee's getting packages delivered still. At the front door, there are 3 packages.
Well, you got some Amazons there, guys. Okay.
One is from Amazon. One is from Kohl's. One came from Burlington, New Jersey. It looks to be some kind of clothing item. So we don't know if she's just been shopping recently or what. But in talking to the neighbors, we know that 4 investigators were here at Ashlee's house. They brought a van on Saturday afternoon. It was around 2 o'clock, the neighbor says. The officers, apparently investigators, they're dressed in plain clothes. They went inside. They were there for about an hour. But according to the neighbor, they did not leave with anything. In talking with other neighbors, though, they're expressing that they're glad that Ashlee is in custody. and hopefully providing some answers and talking now to police. But a lot of neighbors that we talked to around here today, they don't recall seeing Melodee at all.
That's interesting.
Playing outside, walking.
And keeping her there. And again, he did speak out. Tyler Brewer did speak out to KSBY, spoke with the alleged victim in the case, okay, because of those charges, identified in the criminal complaint as Tyler S. Brewer. He tells us that he's a local paralegal and legal document assistant. He knew Buzzard years ago. So some of you guys said 2014. Sounds like it's about the same time frame. He says he was at the home last week when Buzzard had a box cutter near her and wouldn't let him leave. What happened? He says he initially reached out to her to see if she could help with Melodee and was in communication with authorities during his talks with Buzzard. He tells us he's now very worried about Melodee, and when he asked about his recent interactions with the girl's mother, he said the whole thing is bizarre. The whole thing was so bizarre, he says. He emphasized that his intentions remain to help find the missing girl. So he is cooperating, guys. He's just not talking to us, which should be okay, guys. I think it's important.
Down the sidewalk, anything, or even playing in the backyard. Neighbors have not seen Melodee at anywhere around this house. So they are curious as to what's happened to her. They are keeping hope alive that, you know, Melodee is alive and out there and will be found. So Ashlee remains behind bars.
Nancy. Thank goodness for that. Hopefully they can squeeze her for information while she's behind bars. I do want to ask you a little bit about these images and the dichotomy of 5 years ago, the video that her mother, Lori Miranda, shared with us of Ashlee with her little daughter, Melodee. It does not look at all like the Ashlee we're seeing in these videos, the arrest video, the surveillance video. Did Lori Miranda say anything to you about her relationship with her daughter, Ashlee, and of course her granddaughter, Melodee? Like, what sort of information has she shed on you when you were able to speak with her?
Yeah. Lori has not spoken with Ashlee since 2023. The video that we saw earlier with Melodee carving the pumpkin, that was in 2020 when Melodee was about 4 years old. And yes, Ashlee looks...
It's crazy to me that 2020 was literally, what, 4 or 5 years ago now? Oh my God. I still remember what I was doing in 2020. This is crazy.
Are different. She's obviously lost a considerable amount of weight in recent years. She moved into this house about 2 years ago, and neighbors say that Ashlee was larger when she first moved in. So that drastic weight loss appears to have happened like within the last year or so. But when the surveillance pictures came out of Ashlee and Melodee at the car rental business, Lori, the mother, says that she did not recognize that as her daughter, because that's not how she remembers what we're seeing.
Well, when was the last time? Because they didn't really specify that. Maybe she has in another interview, and it's just kind of leaves my mind at this point. But I think it'd been a while. They were trying to get in contact with her, and it wasn't just mom, grandmother, but like sister and other folks. They've spoken out. I mean, the LA Times did a piece on this whole situation, and they've given kind of their accounts of everything that's going on. And then the sister, as well as another relative, they've talked about how they've been trying to, how they were just shut off, and they were trying to get in contact with her.
Being there, the Ashlee with the pumpkin, that's what she remembers Ashlee looking like.
I mean, it's like two different people. I'm looking on the screen right now. It just looks like two completely different people. Great information, just fantastic reporting on this. Nancy Lou, thank you.
That's the latest in the Melodee Buzzard case. We'll keep following every development as it unfolds. Make sure you're subscribed on YouTube.
Shout out to Banfield, guys. Make sure you guys check out Banfield's channel, who provided this pretty good deep dive, I would say. Guys, I want to thank everybody who supported today. I have Baby Bunny. She's got a whistle, so I don't know if y'all hear it, but she is ready to go out, and I got to go tend to her. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We definitely covered a lot, you know, between the two and everything. But guys, you guys don't have to agree with me. I don't purport to know everything. I really don't. I'm just letting y'all know kind of what my opinions are. You guys entitled to your opinions. I really do appreciate everybody here. And I will see you guys on the next one. No. All right. Bye, guys.